Hi, in this video, I'll be explaining what are workflows in Doctor Droid playbooks. Workflows are a way to automate investigation of your systems using playbooks. The purpose of a workflow is alert enrichment. The workflow consists of four components: triggers, playbooks, actions, and a scheduler. Trigger is an entry point into the workflow and defines when the investigation is to be done. We can choose to do it whenever a bot sends an alert into a Slack channel, or we can choose to do it from an API call if you want to run a playbook from our custom code using the curl given here. To get the curl, I can just enter the workflow name as example workflow. So we can choose to trigger it from an API call using the curl given here, or we can even choose to do it or trigger it from a PagerDuty incident creation. The next step, first, let's try to do it from Slack. Let's select a demo channel. Let's select a bot, and we can even filter out the messages or filter out the noise using a certain matching query. Let's write ClickHouse DB. So we can see the alerts that are matching the criteria. Wait a second, I think I misspelled it. ClickHouse DB. So we can see the alerts that are matching the certain criteria. The next step would be to select a playbook to run whenever we have a trigger. So I can just select this playbook. To know more about playbooks, you can check out other videos which explain what they are. We can either send the link to an execution or execute the playbook and just send back the summary. So let's just choose generate a link to execute this playbook. The next step is to know, or the next step is to configure how many times you want the workflow to run. We want to run it once, or do we want to run it at regular cron intervals using a cron schedule, or we want to run it at specific interval in the number of seconds. So we can specify the number of seconds, or we can specify the cron. Let's say I just want to run the workflow once. The next step would be to configure the notifications. Notifications basically specify where we want to send the message to. This is essentially actions in workflow. So we can send it in the thread that actually was triggering the workflow. We can send it via a Slack message in a specific channel. We can send it into MS Teams inside of a specific using the specific webhook, or we can send it as an email. And if we select the PagerDuty trigger, we can even send it as a note to PagerDuty. So let's select Slack again, and let's select the send via Slack message, and we want to send it, or we can just write get the reply to alert which triggered the workflow and try to test it out. We can click on test workflow to test out the workflow and see we actually receive a message in the thread reply to the alert. So if I click on test run, the notification was sent, and you can see we actually get this reply. We can see testing workflow, example workflow. This is a sample run of the traffic search dynamic alert use case playbook, and we actually get the link to that execution. So this is how we are able to get the link to the execution, and this is how workflows work. Thank you.